All right, everybody, so welcome back to the channel. Today I'm getting ready for the next event on the MLF Pro Circuit, the Potomac River. So I've got the Nitro Z21 ready to go, and just getting the truck and the camper ready, the battle wagon. It's clean except for the fact that I just went up to our property and got some things muddy, but it's really clean and organized inside. And so that's my whole process. Every single tournament, I like to tear everything apart, take everything out of the boat, the truck, the camper, and put it all back together after a deep clean. Yeah, helps me kind of keep track of things that need to get fixed, and also make sure I don't have all this stuff that I don't need for that particular event. So yeah, just getting ready. Figured I'd do a 2-year review. It's June 2021, and I ended up getting this Lance 975 back in 2019. This is a 2017 model, so I got it used, and so wanted to do kind of a 2-year review on this truck camper. First off, if this is your first time visiting my channel, you know, if you end up liking this video and it's helpful, consider supporting the channel by subscribing to the channel, and also make sure you drop a comment below if you have any questions or comments. But yeah, just consider supporting this channel. Really appreciate it. Have a lot of fishing related content, obviously, because I'm a professional MLF, a pro circuit angler, but I also do a lot of content on the truck camper. So let's begin with a little bit of a backstory on getting the Lance 975. The Lance 975 that I have, as I mentioned before, 2017 model, bought it used. It was in great condition. Just happened to get really lucky. Got to the dealership and was looking for a 975. Almost ordered a brand new one. But it just so happened to be that day a guy was coming in and trading in his 2017 975 for a new truck camper, and so ended up getting a great deal on this. Bought it used, and it's worked pretty much phenomenally the life of the camper, and I've taken it on a lot of different trips. We've gone you know, all around the country for the tournament trail, so I've put about 30,000 miles just on fishing tournaments with the truck camper, and we've also gone to California, up to the Northeast, to Connecticut, and all over the place. So as a traveling tournament angler, having a truck camper has really changed my life on the road, and I would highly recommend it for anybody that travels a lot and needs a RV that is highly versatile. I can take this off of the truck the truck and leave it at a campsite and still, you know, be able to tow my boat behind it when I'm in transit. So it's very versatile, and I just absolutely love it. And also, just need to mention, I have a Ram 3500 dually. This is a diesel, so I have a little less payload capacity with the diesel truck because the diesel engine weighs a little bit more. But that's one of the very first things that I loved about the Lance 975 was the overall weight. It's got a very reasonable dry weight to it. Between 35 and 3,800 pounds, I believe, is the dry weight for the 975, depending on the options that you've got. And despite it being a lighter camper, because it's got the super slide on it, it's got a ton of space in it. So it was the perfect mix of having a truck camper that allows for a little bit of wiggle room as far as capacity goes with the dually truck, so I can, you know, haul all my gear and have plenty of capability to haul the boat as well. And it has that space. So love that. And another big thing that I was looking at when looking at truck campers initially was storage. So the 975's got some really good storage options. You've got this right here. That's a little storage container, probably one of the smaller ones, just loaded to the gills right there. And then you've got this storage system back here. This actually will slide out right here, and there's a storage, flatter storage system in there. Actually, I'll just pull it out. So that'll come out. Of course, the hitch is kind of in the way right now, but that'll pull out, and then you've got that storage right there. I keep my torque lift tie downs there a lot of times, but you've also got all the space in the world in there on both sides. We've also got a storage container on the side here, and then we've got this puppy right here. This right here is what I love the most as far as storage. That's the Lance locker right there. Pegboard galore. Absolutely awesome. Be able to keep all my Z-Man Elastec baits on that wall. That's a huge deal for me. You know, traveling around the country, being able to store all your tackle, big deal. So let's talk about some of the other things on the outside that I really like, and some of the things that I've kind of had to fix recently. Very few things that I had to actually fix or replace, but just had to replace the fabric on the awnings. It's got two awnings, one on the back here and one on the side. The side one's really cool. Both of them are, you know, one touch, they'll go out. You know, you just touch the little switch inside and they'll go out by themselves and then go in the same way. But the side one actually has an automatic retract feature. If you forget to retract it and you're out on the water doing whatever, and a storm comes in and the wind picks up, when that wind starts moving that awning, it will actually go back in by itself. I don't trust it. You know, I don't trust that feature because a storm can really come in quick down here in the south. But it is really, really nice if you do forget to put that awning in to have that. The 975 has two 20-pound tanks of propane. That's one of the things that I would really like to have a more capacity with, is having maybe two 30s. But I really, you know, I've looked at it and I don't see where they would put it anyways. So 20 pounders it is. It does last a long time. I mean, the furnace is very, very efficient. So it won't use a ton of propane, but using the generator, we've got a Cummins Onan propane generator in there. Obviously, if you're running a lot of stuff that take propane, you know, 20 pounders will last a decent length of time, but not forever. So I would like for boondocking to have 30 pounders in there, but 20 pounders work just fine. Everything else, this is access to the water pump, works perfect. Never had any issues with that. Of course, this is the intake for the fresh water. No issues there. Here is the water heater. It runs off of both electric, so an electric water heater, and also propane. So you can choose between the two. The propane one right now, it's not a big deal, and it's really nobody's fault, but just kind of a thing that happens. Some little parts will go wrong and you have to replace them. The spark, it stopped working for the propane function, so I have to replace the spark element here on that. Not a quality control issue. Again, it's just, you know, some things are going to go bad like that, and it's at that age, the camper's at that age and usage that, you know, small things like that are gonna go out. Also had to replace this fuse. I don't know what this kind of fuse is called, but had to replace that. It got, you know, it burned out, and so I keep a spare of those. I didn't even know it existed there, but keep a spare of that. What else? Oh yeah, and on the generator, just want to mention, you know, if you have this same generator and are looking to replace the oil yourself, I did a video on my channel about changing the oil on that generator. Super easy. And one thing I will mention about these generators is, you know, they're designed, they are meant to be used. And when I got this camper, it only had a couple hours on the generator, but I use it quite a bit. I've got 70 hours on it now. You know, I see a lot of guys afraid to use their generator because, you know, they just don't want to wear it out. But this thing is not going to wear out anytime soon. Let me tell you, they actually will perform better over the length of their life and last longer if you run them. Just make sure it's got, you know, the right oil level in it, and the oil is in good condition, and run this thing. That's my advice to you. Sometimes even if I'm not using the camper, I will run the generator for an hour if it's just sitting here at home, and you know, put a load on it, turn the AC on, something just to run it, keep it nice and lubed up and ready to go. So I think that's pretty much it outside. The only other thing that is kind of a feature that I really appreciate is the ladder. The ladder does a really good job of holding my weight, and I'm pretty heavy. I've got 2 rod tubes up there, you can see, so I'm on the ladder quite a bit. And this is just one of the little things that I really just appreciate about this truck camper, is the fact that they put a really solid ladder on there. And I see a lot of RVs that I don't even know if the ladder is actually meant for a human being to walk up on, but this one's pretty beefy. So Lance did a really good job with it. Overall, those were the things that, oh, I did want to show you over here. The only other thing that I had to learn from experience was outside. You know, obviously inside, this is a 4 seasons, you know, a camper, so it's a heated basement in it. So when you have the furnace on, it heats everything, keeps everything, you know, nice and warm when it's really cold out. So you don't have to have antifreeze in the lines when you're using it. But this is the only problematic part if you're going to be in sub freezing conditions. I had the coupler on the back of this outside shower burst at the Grand Canyon. Again, this is not a quality issue with Lance or the manufacturer of the shower assembly. It's just, you know, the name of the game when you're dealing with really cold temperatures. So make sure that you either drain that or insulate it further in here, or just put some antifreeze in that, and just to keep it from bursting there. So that was the only external thing, or the only thing in general that has been affected by cold weather usage. So let's go inside. Again, as a traveling tournament angler, I love storage. I love storage. And this has got this nice drawer that goes out pretty far. I dig that. Inside, got a lot of really cool storage areas. You've got these drawers underneath the seats. They hold quite a bit. Let's see what's in here. A lot of stuff I keep. The only thing is, I've had these, you know, come out by themselves. You know, after, you know, a long trip, they'll kind of work themselves free and unlatch themselves. Sometimes, not all the time, but that's just something that, you know, keep in mind. I'm going to try to get a strap system for that to keep them strapped down, and also for the TV, because the latch system on this, on the back, has, you know, does come loose when I'm on the road a lot of times, but it is a really cool TV. It actually comes out, folds out. You can look towards the bed, look towards the dinette. You've got surround sound speakers. That's a light. There's the other speaker. You've got them up front, outside, underneath the awning over here, and of course above the dinette. So really cool entertainment system that is controlled right here. Kitchen space is really well used. They utilize some cool solutions for storage, like this pull-out pantry deal. That has worked really good. Good stovetop, good oven. I actually use the oven for more than storage. Throw a frozen pizza in there every once in a while. Everything works as it should. The sink I would change. You know, if I had the option, I would just get the single sink, you know, the without the divider here. The divider just makes it hard to clean big items. But the newer Lance 975s have that one single piece, that one single well that I really like. So yeah, so that's kitchen area. I do a lot in there. And then we've got the dinette over here. This space is very usable. It's got a nice big, you know, a table here. It's a good workspace for me, you know, when I'm editing videos, working on tackle, any of that stuff. It does, you know, lower down into a bed. And then, you know, the only thing that I would change about the dinette area is I might have like a angled like cushion right here that allows you to kind of lounge here, not at a 90-degree angle, and look at the TV. That's the only thing that I'd change, is just some way to be able to kind of lean back, lounge out, and still have this good usable workspace here that the dinette offers. The Lance 975 on the Super Slide has the, you know, a big refrigerator, big freezer, you know, big enough for a frozen pizza. You know, nice refrigerator area. But this right here was one of the big reasons why my wife insisted on this model versus, you know, some of the other, you know, smaller campers, is the dry bath. Having the shower separated from the rest of the bathroom, to me, wasn't a big deal, but I'm glad that she put her foot down, because I really love the bathroom in here. This is the same size bathroom as the 1172. It's got this big countertop, got nice space for the toilet, and, you know, I'm 250 pounds, about 6'1", 6'2", and I fit in that shower just fine. So I love the bathroom in this camper. I think that's one of the more exceptional features of the 975, and why it just feels so much bigger than it actually is, you know, especially when you consider the weight that this camper is dry. The sleeping area is really nice, really comfortable. Got a nice sunroof there, 2 windows on either side, lots of storage in here. Does get a little bit, you know, packed in there. And then you've got a wardrobe. As far as truck camper storage, it's excellent, but obviously, you know, you're making some concessions as far as keeping it super organized and not, you know, just stuffed in there. But man, that's pretty much it. You know, there's a lot of things that I love about this camper. The only other thing I really need to mention, I forgot when we were outside, I didn't talk about the jacks. So the jacks have worked great, other than, you know, one hiccup with the remote. I had to get this remote replaced. Not a big deal at all. And actually love the new remote. My up button, my extend button didn't work. So to extend the slide and the jacks, I had to do it manually, which was actually kind of cool to learn that process and learn that you can do it. But I had to do that manually. But the only other thing, which is a really bizarre thing that happened, was the jacks and this is not a problem that's widely known, but I've heard several stories now from people with similar Lance campers and these Atwood heavy-duty jacks, that some of the frequencies of some of the remotes will work for different campers. So I was at Lake Murray, South Carolina, camping, and two doors down, 2 sites down, while I was gone, you know, going grocery shopping, I came back and my truck camper was like 2 foot high. It was extended all the way up, but it was still level, fortunately. But 2 sites over, another tournament angler with a very similar camper, a Lance camper, came in, started setting up, and his remote worked for my jacks and my slide as well. So since then, I've learned to unplug these jacks every time I get to a campground where I'm surrounded by other people that might have a remote for the jacks. That might work for mine, because that's not a situation you want to be in, where you're perfectly level and then somebody starts messing with their camper, and now you're in a situation where your camper is compromised because it gets unlevel. I have a friend that had that situation happen. So just be diligent, turn off the switch, which is right here for the slide, and unplug your jacks. That's one thing that kind of surprised me, but you know, it's just something that I have to do every single time. But other than that, man, the only other thing I want to mention is on the outside, you could see obviously that I work with Battleborn batteries. So they offer lithium batteries from everything from marine, RV, to, you know, off the grid housing, that sort of thing. But I just wanted to mention, I've got 2 Battleborn batteries in here for my system. And it did change out the converter. The original converter wasn't optimized for lithium. I used it for a while, but it had a buzzing sound anyway, so I needed to take it out. Ever since the beginning, it sounded like a cicada in here. But the lithium power, man, I've got to gush on it a little bit, because I really didn't realize how big of a deal it was until I started using it. And I do boondock quite a bit. You know, in between tournaments, I don't want to have to get a campsite every single time. So a lot of times I'll camp out in a Walmart parking lot, at Flying J's, or, you know, any truck stop, anything like that. And before, with lead acid batteries, I really had a problem with running, you know, the regular battery powered accessories in here, like the furnace overnight, lights, the TV. You know, for short periods of time they were fine, but by the morning I'd have to turn on the truck to charge the batteries enough to turn on the generator for like maybe AC or the microwave, or, you know, to make a cup of coffee or something like that. But with the lithium power, I haven't had any of those issues. I can actually run those Battleborn batteries all night long, the next day, and then through the next night, and haven't had any issues at all. I mean, obviously I can't run my AC or my microwave, and, you know, some select items in the camper off of the battery power alone. I could if I get a bigger system. You know, they've actually wanted me to put in a larger, you know, a more than just 2 battery system. So like add a couple more batteries to be able to run everything. But just because of storage space, I don't want to do that. But as far as boondocking it with just the regular 2 battery system, I mean, lithium has been way above and beyond the lead acid that I was using before. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you're looking at getting a new RV or looking to re-up power, really consider the lithium. And that's not just coming from somebody that you know, works with a lithium battery company. It's coming from somebody that uses battery power quite often and relies on it. And I've only had the batteries get run down once, and that was when I was getting this truck camper wrapped. It was sitting inside a warehouse for 2 weeks, so the solar power panel wasn't able to charge the batteries, top it off constantly, and eventually it just went dead. You know, it probably took about a week for the batteries to kind of drain, but still, it's extremely impressive. In real life situations, you're not going to have any problems at all. So figured I'd mention that, because everybody asked me about lithium batteries, and in my experience with them, now I've had enough time to kind of be able to talk on that subject. So there you go. So hopefully this kind of a 2-year review of my Lance 975 was helpful for you. If you're looking for a truck camper for yourself, or you and a partner, this is a great truck camper. If you're looking for something for you, your wife, and your kids, you probably need a bigger size truck camper. But if it's just you traveling around with your wife or just by yourself, this is a phenomenal truck camper. Absolutely love it, and couldn't say more better things about it. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you like this video, make sure that you support this channel by subscribing to it, and always please drop those comments below. I will get to them as soon as possible. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the road and out on the water.